Hello guys, welcome to my channel Lucid Fanfic, and if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on our latest videos. So be sure to stick around until the end, and let's get started. In the tender embrace, Sato and Izuku's lips engaged in a deliberate and passionate dance. The soft texture of her lips tantalized his senses, each kiss leaving a lingering taste that sparked warmth within him. Their tongues entwined, creating an electrifying connection that transcended the physical act. Entranced by Sato's unique fragrance, Izuku felt the moment become a sensory journey. The embrace wasn't merely physical, it cocooned him in safety and desire, leaving him both protected and yearning for more. Within the depths of their embrace, Sato's heartbeat resonated with a steady cadence, synchronizing with his own. It felt as if their hearts were orchestrating a silent symphony, an unspoken language of connection beyond the physical touch. The world faded away as they embraced, lost in the shared euphoria of the moment. Sato's hands moved with purpose, conveying both passion and possession. Their dance of desire, a choreography of love, left Izuku breathless and craving more. As they parted, a trail of sensations lingered, a mix of Sato's taste, the warmth of their connection, and the echo of their shared heartbeat. Breaking the silence, Sato whispered, "My sweet Izuku, you're the sugar in my veins, the melody in my heart. Every beat belongs to you, and every breath whispers your name. No one will ever taste the sweetness of your love but me, and I'll guard it fiercely, my darling, for you are mine and mine alone. I'll protect you. You're my sweet, happy sugar life." Izuku vividly recalls her words, the soft touch of her tongue, and the sensation of oxygen escaping his body. As he lies in bed, the memory echoes like a haunting melody, a symphony of emotions resonating in his soul. Reflecting on that moment, Izuku's face flushes red. Sato's influence on him is undeniable, leaving an indelible mark. Observing Sato's interactions, particularly with others like Junko, Mikan, Maki, and Junko's sister, Izuku senses a subtle possessiveness beneath her charming facade. Sato's mood oscillates between endearing and unsettling, creating a delicate balance that sends shivers down Izuku's spine while sounding deceptively sweet. This enigma leaves Izuku in a state of confusion about his understanding of women. His desire to be the best for Sato extends to the other girls he genuinely cares about. Noticing the progress in his relationships with Mikan, Maki, Junko, and her sister, Izuku is both pleased and puzzled. The bonds he formed, especially comforting Mikan during her struggles at UA High, add warmth to his experiences. Details about Mikan's presence in class and collaboration with Recovery Girl bring a smile to Izuku's face. Reflecting on the unexpected joy he feels for Mikan's successes and the newfound friendships with Sato, Maki, and the Inashima sisters, Izuku chuckles to himself. However, Sato's presence still lingers in his mind. As he contemplates, a knock on his bedroom door interrupts his thoughts. Opening it, Inko smiles sweetly, holding freshly baked sweets. Inko beamed at Izuku, her eyes sparkling with warmth. "Izuku, could you do me a favor? Take these freshly baked sweets to our new neighbor," she said, handing him a basket filled with delicious treats. A small gesture can mean a lot, especially to someone who might be feeling a bit lonely in a new place. Surprised by the news of a new neighbor, Izuku took the basket, a curious expression on his face. Inko noticed his confusion and explained that the neighbor had recently moved in from the floor above, the very first door on the left. "Make her feel welcome," Inko added, leaning upward to plant a gentle kiss on Izuku's forehead. "Mom," Izuku protested, a hint of embarrassment coloring his cheeks. "I'm not a little kid anymore." Inko chuckled softly, her eyes twinkling with maternal pride. "I know," she said, patting his cheek affectionately. "But kindness never goes out of style. Go on, be a good neighbor." With a nod, Izuku headed towards the neighbor's door, leaving Inko smiling in the doorway. His words, though, struck a chord, and as he walked away, Inko couldn't help but shed a few tears of pride. "My baby boy is growing up," she whispered to herself, the mix of emotions threatening to overflow. She wiped away a tear, chuckling at her own sentimentality. While she does live close, Izuku stood in front of the plain door, his fist hanging in midair, a subtle unease settling within him. He cast a quick glance to the left and right, the dimming lights of neighboring apartment rooms intensifying the late-night solitude. In the quiet of the night, shrouded by uncertainty, Izuku summoned the courage to knock on the door. A rapid succession of knocks echoed, punctuating the stillness. He nervously stepped back, his gaze fixed on the closed door, awaiting a response. The click of the doorknob broke the silence as the door swung open, revealing a woman. Izuku's eyes were drawn to her unkempt, light lavender hair cascading down, tied in a loose fishtail braid on the right side. Her straight bangs, slightly choppy and parted in the middle, framed a face adorned with two chin-length strands that curled inward. Another set of messy strands extended just below her neck, gently curling. Bandages adorned her cheek, a testament to past struggles. Despite the disarray, a sweet smile adorned her face as her eyes met the object Izuku held. "Well, bless your heart, sugar. Izuku Midoriya, isn't it?" She coos with a honeyed tone, prompting Izuku to sit up real quick. You're just as cute as a button, darling. Now, tell me, are those delightful treats meant for yours truly?" She chuckled, playfully pointing at the freshly made sweets. Yes, Izuku awkwardly smiles as he hands her the baked sweets with shaky, nervous hands. The dear lady tenderly places her hand on her cheek, a maternal warmth radiating from her. A soft, melodic giggle escapes her lips as she gestures for Izuku to come inside. "Darling, step on in. It'll only take a moment. Your wonderful mother and I have met in the past. She's such a delightful woman. Your sweetness must be a lovely reflection of her." The lady's lips elegantly curve, and her fingers delicately graze a portion of her mouth. Foo, how precious. Don't be bashful, my dear." Inko did say to welcome her with open arms. Izuku lets out a flustered smile as he enters. He feels the soft touch of the lady's hand on his back, a reassuring gesture as she guides him into her dwelling. With a graceful motion, she offers a chair, silently inviting him to settle in, mirroring her composed presence across the table. These delights truly emanate warmth and care. "Thank you, dear," she whispers, her voice wrapped in a gentle, comforting tone. The atmosphere carries a sophisticated charm, each word a subtle stroke in a portrait of hospitality that goes beyond mere courtesy. No problem." Miss Izuku stuttered over his words. "Darling, do oblige me. I've got a nephew, a sprightly kind gal, much like yourself. Call me auntie, won't you?" She coos with a sweet smile, savoring a delicate bite of the bakes. "You've got the same sweetness in those eyes, dear, hiding a world of mysteries. Humans, men, have this knack for keeping secrets behind those charming gazes. It's the magic that weaves connections between souls. Wouldn't you say, Midoriya?" Izuku looks at her, unsure what to say. She takes Izuku's moment of silence as a gesture. "Well, honey, that's just how we express our love." The warmth in her smile softens, but there's a hint of a knowing grin, Izuku senses an odd emotion, a mixture of discomfort and anticipation. The air around them adopts a quiet tension, alluding to something unspoken, a silent understanding of shared secrets and concealed bonds. "Affection?" Izuku speaks awkwardly. Izuku's gaze shifted from her to his hands, a subtle interplay of uncertainty crossing his features. The weight of unspoken words lingered in the air as he looked back at her. In response, the aunt offered a graceful nod, her eyes unwavering, firmly fixed on Izuku. The subtle communication between them hinted at a shared understanding, adding layers to their connection. "Ah, love. It's such a puzzling yet weighty matter, isn't it? You youngsters, and many others, tend to entangle love with all sorts of ideas, the meaning behind someone's gestures, those soft glances shared, the happiness discovered in someone's company, that longing to stay near. It's like weaving a red string around a person's heart. It can be either a red string linking hearts or, well, a bit like a chain." Izuku listens carefully to her words. Izuku's eyes develop in thoughts. "Love is like an attachment? Is that how Sato feels about me? I know me and Sato are dating, but that is how she feels. Like her heart is attached to mine. I wonder why she acts so possessive, like she's afraid that our red string will break." The auntie continues speaking. "In the shadows, comfort is sought within unbroken chains that bind us. Desperation drives some to extremes, ensuring these bonds remain unyielding. Oblivious to the consequences, they inflict harm upon others in their relentless pursuit. Love, my dear, a bewitching emotion, possesses the potency to propel us to the precipice of madness when entwined with the right soul. I see Izuku nods. Well, darling, I sensed you might be hankering for a tad bit of wisdom. You've got that air around you, the one that whispers of fondness and such. I've perfected the knack for deciphering when a lad's heart is all tangled up in the threads of love. It's a skill I've refined over the years, you know. Perhaps, just perhaps, I could shed some light on the fine art of true affection. Izuku's eyes widen as the auntie lets out a soft laugh, seeing Izuku's reaction with a flustered yet shocked expression. Oh, sweetie, just a bit of banter, you know? A playful jest from an old soul like myself. No sane soul would long for the companionship of a woman of my vintage. Cherish these youthful times, my dear. Okay. She gives Izuku a playful pat, tilting her head with a knowing smile. Spill the beans, sweetheart. Who's the lucky gal? Lucky gal? Izuku blushes nervously as he suddenly remembers Sada's kiss. The dear aunt gracefully inclines her head, a soft, melodic hum escaping her lips. She responds with sweet affirmation, her demeanor carrying an air of warmth and gentleness. She's a girl who actually confessed to me a few months ago. Izuku blushes. She's very sweet, and every time I look at her she reminds me of a jar full of nothing but candy. The woman got closer, her hands resting on Izuku's shoulders. Her touch on his shoulders felt intimate. But Izuku didn't notice. He only got more nervous as she massaged his shoulders while standing in front of him. Her melons, only the outline of it, is visible through her clothes. They nearly touch Izuku's face. He could have sworn he saw her eyes glow bright light blue for a moment. Yes, she's quite adorable and sweet. My girlfriend Sato. Sato. The aunt's voice held a subtle, eerie cadence, her hands tightening on his shoulders as if veiled secrets lingered in her grasp. She sounds sweet. She must be a sweet and loving girl. The words hung in the air, a delicate melody with an undercurrent of something disquieting, an enigma wrapped in the guise of familial concern. The aunt's tone betrayed a hidden knowledge, a keen awareness that danced on the edges of the ordinary, leaving a lingering sense of unease. Yes, she is. Izuku chuckled nervously as the woman embraced Izuku in a hug, her body pressed straight against Izuku's face. The sensation of her melons soft like pillows, he suddenly found himself melting from her touch. Foo, the woman ruffled his hair for a moment and pulled away. That's my little gift, dear, for bringing a touch of warmth to the solitude that wraps around a woman like me. Midoriya? She enfolds him in an embrace, the subtle pressure of her curves against him, a veiled reminder of secrets lurking beneath the surface. If ever the weight of the world becomes too much for you, and you find yourself yearning for a respite, she whispers, her voice an appealing and hot murmur, don't hesitate to seek solace in my company. I do so adore the company of intriguing young men. The invitation lingers in the air, an eerie blend of allure and latent danger, leaving Izuku to decipher the enigmatic layers of her words. Lemon. Warning. Smut/lemon warning is below this. You've been warned. My morality is gone. Then again, it's a Yandere story. The Yanderes don't have morals as long as they keep who they love. Lemon. She withdrew, a subtle smirk playing on her lips, her voice a haunting whisper that sent shivers down Izuku's spine. Shall we revisit the days of youth, darling? The question lingers in the air. What do you desire, what you want to touch? Her hands draw Izuku closer to his body. She gets to him. Izuku's mind races, his heart pounding faster. He senses the complex nature of the situation. Her hands pull Izuku in, the subtle sway of her body teasingly brushing against him with each step closer. Izuku's thoughts whirl, his heartbeat escalating into a rapid rhythm. The intricate dance of the moment unfolds, and he keenly perceives the intricate layers of the situation, a tantalizing complexity that electrifies the air. Backing off, Izuku's action elicits a surprised gasp from her. Her gaze pierces through him, sweetly deceptive, akin to a siren beckoning a sailor into uncharted waters. In a fleeting instant, Izuku catches a glimpse behind the facade of her ostensibly maternal gaze. There's an unsettling depth to the atmosphere, a subtle undercurrent of intensity that lingers like the quiet before a storm. Behind those seemingly nurturing eyes, a veiled enigma stirs, a clandestine force that adds a dash of eeriness to the otherwise ordinary. It's a subtle dance, a hint of something both spicy and unnerving, leaving a mysterious imprint that lingers in the air long after the moment has passed. Sato's aunt possesses a hidden allure that keeps you on the edge, making the ordinary feel tinged with an unspoken and quietly menacing spice. Izuku attempts to leave. With an unsettling grace, she interrupts, fingers like a vice around his wrist, yanking him closer. Her eyes, shrouded in an enigmatic haze, bore into his soul. "Have you tasted the lips of another, dear?" Her voice, a blend of eeriness and hidden menace, hangs in the air like a mysterious fog. It's not a question, it's a revelation veiled in the subtle spice of her words. The atmosphere shifts, an unspoken challenge lingering between them. In her presence, the ordinary becomes a tapestry of the arcane, leaving an indelible mark on the unsuspecting soul. "Yeah, but hey," Izuku laughs awkwardly, trying to downplay the situation by distancing himself. "How about someone a bit more mature, dear? There's a world of difference between the desires of a teenager and those of a grown-up." Her voice, a haunting melody, weaves through the air, sending an unsettling chill down Izuku's spine. His heart races even faster, the woman guiding him further into the apartment. Despite Izuku's nervous laughter, the atmosphere grows more intense. Izuku contemplates his options, but the woman's presence leaves him feeling immobilized. In a swift motion, she shuts the door to her room. Unbelievable, isn't it? "Sato, my niece," she murmurs, her fingers meticulously adjusting the folds of her clothing. "I'm not the one who birthed her. No, I stand as her guardian, her protector, for she is my sister's offspring. A tragic twist of fate compelled me to guide her, to unveil the hidden truths of life under my watchful eye." Izuku's head jerked in a swift shake, vehemently denying the unexpected sight before him. An utterly shocked expression painted across his face, the sudden revelation causing his cheeks to blaze in embarrassment. He grappled to contain his discomfort, desperately searching for an escape from the unexpected situation. The woman, Auntie's attire falls swiftly as paper. She stares at him. The skin of her melons are exposed. Her melons, big, round, elegant, swaying side to side in a smooth motion. "Do you find the sight pleasing, dear?" The words slithered from her lips, a serpentine melody laced with an unsettling allure. The cadence carried a subtle hint of something sinister, a dance between the eerie and the enticing. Her gaze, sharp and penetrating, seemed to pierce through the shadows, leaving an unsettling shiver in its wake. The statement hung in the air, a delicate yet haunting invitation, as if daring you to unravel the mysteries concealed beneath the surface. A sly grin played on her lips, a touch of spice lingering in the air. It was a smile that held secrets, a promise of something both tempting and unsettling. Izuku shakes his head, denying her. With an utterly shocked expression, his face burns red, trying to contain and find a way out of the situation. Well, Izuku dear, it appears your little friend has a rebellious streak. Does it throb with disobedience? Need Auntie to discipline it?" Her voice took on a sultriness that sent a tantalizing chill through the room. A wicked glint in her eyes hinted at an unspoken promise, and her words, though laced with a spicy playfulness, held an undercurrent of something both alluring and disconcerting. The air crackled with a strange energy, as if she held secrets that danced on the edge of taboo. "Know what? I have to go, sorry miss, but I should." Before Izuku could react, she pulls him in and trips him onto the bed. Her body hovers over him like a snake with its prey. Her lips press on Izuku's neck gently and passionately. She holds Izuku down as he struggles against her grip. "She's strong, why is her grip so ugh?" Izuku mutters as his body betrays him, his squirms beneath her, aroused by her embrace. Her lips press delicately. The sound of her smooching his neck fills Izuku's ears. She is straddling Izuku, on top of him, preventing him from moving or getting away. She undresses him quickly, taking off his shirt despite his discourse. He tries to stop her. In a hauntingly whisper that sent shivers down Izuku's spine, she purred, "What a delectable specimen you are, my darling. Resist if you dare, For the symphony of our desire is best composed in the crescendo of your struggle, a prelude to the intoxicating blend of pleasure and pain that awaits. With a deft and deliberate touch, she cast Izuku aside, her fingers skillfully peeling away the layers that guarded him. Her eyes glittered with a predatory gleam, and as she bit down on her bottom lip, a wicked undertone surfaced. Closing in, she pressed her mouth against his with a predatory hunger. MMP, she mums as she locks her lips onto his. She delved into the innermost recesses of his mouth, her tongue swirling furiously as she pulls back a trail of saliva. Izuku's eyes shrink with fear, his breathing a mess as he tries to catch his breath. Sato, I am sorry. Izuku's bottom lip trembles. Heat, pain, sweat. His mind melted, feeling so utterly weak, as if all his energy is being drained from her kiss. Miss, stop. This is morally wrong. I have a girlfriend. I have Sato. He attempts to push her off. I shouldn't know. You shouldn't do this? Sure, that might hold a grain of truth, darling, but with a woman of my caliber, the possibilities are endless. I graciously allow men to release their pent-up frustrations in my presence, you see. It's merely a testament to the affection they harbor for me. With a woman of my caliber, rules bend and possibilities unfold, she purred, her words dripping with a sickening sweetness. And men, dear Izuku, find solace in releasing their deepest desires in my embrace. It's a testament to the affection they harbor for me, a dance of passion in the shadows. The air thickened with an otherworldly tension, an eerie charm that left Izuku questioning the boundaries of morality and the intoxicating allure of this enigmatic woman. I am loyal, Izuku heart shouted, his arms jolt as his veins were screaming with adrenaline. Sato Ant felt the touch on her shoulders. And so, Izuku with all his might pushes the woman off. She falls, her legs spread apart, as Izuku caught a glimpse of her entrance dripping with love juices. She was serious. Izuku gasps. Izuku hurriedly dressed, rushing out the door when he realized he was already 10 minutes late. Exiting Sato's aunt's apartment, he felt utterly shocked and shaken from the unsettling experience. I won't breathe a word of this to anyone. Sato must never know. Just please, let me forget. I promise never to return, Izuku pleaded, desperate to erase the disturbing encounter from his memory. Haunted by the fact that she was Sato's aunt and disturbed by her inappropriate advances, adrenaline coursing through him saved him from a situation he wished never occurred. Without a second thought, Izuku shot her a final glance filled with shock and sadness before sprinting away, determined to put as much distance as possible between himself and the unsettling incident. No lemon false alarm. Sato aunt lingered in the room, the echo of Izuku closing the door resonating. She stood there, panting with desire, beads of sweat tracing tantalizing paths down her body. The first one to slip away from my grasp. How intriguing. Fufufuo, my delectable darling, I'm quite certain you'll find your way back, she purred, a wickedly enticing smile dancing on her lips. Her fingers delicately traced the contours, savoring the lingering memory of his touch, the sensation of his skin against hers. In that fleeting moment, her gaze fell upon his, and, well, she couldn't help but be taken aback by the sheer size. Her eyes spiraled with absolute pleasure as she embraced herself. Ugh, her sultry moans echoed sensuously through the room, erasing the boundaries of morality. Thoughts of Izuku consumed her, a twisted obsession unfolding in the recesses of her mind. Dirty, disgusting mind. He'll be back, and maybe he'll finish the job too. Izuku returned home, vaguely disclosing to Inko that he had a friendly conversation. Little did he know, he left behind the basket brimming with sweets intended for Sato Aunt. Inko smiled warmly, planting a kiss on Izuku's forehead. You forgot the basket? No worries. You can retrieve it another time. Sorry, Mom. Deep down, an unsettling feeling gnawed at Izuku. He dreaded the thought of going back, facing Sato Aunt's eerie presence. Yet he couldn't bear the idea of his mother fretting about him. Silently, he retreated to his bed. Those two are worlds apart. Poor Sato. Izuku's mind wandered into the shadows of Sato's childhood, his heart throbbing at the imagined horrors she might have endured. A shiver crawled up Izuku's spine. What now? What comes next? I should tell Sato. It's the right thing to do. It wouldn't be right of me not to tell her. The air hung heavy with a foreboding tension as Izuku contemplated the unsettling path that lay ahead. Sato left Izuku feeling utterly unsettled. All Might's imposing figure cast a resolute shadow over the Takoba Municipal Beach Park, his watchful eyes sweeping across the pristine expanse. The rhythmic melody of ocean waves performed a soothing dance in the air, their gentle cadence harmonizing with the sun-kissed sand beneath. In the midst of this serene backdrop stood Izuku, encircled by an assembly of formidable individuals, the Yandere gang, a force to be reckoned with. Sato, Mikan, Junko, and Makuro, accompanied by the ever-watchful Maki. Sato's gentle touch traced the contours of Izuku's arms, a tender acknowledgement of the strain his quirk had placed on his once mighty limbs. The revelation, shared by Mikan, unraveled before them. Izuku had triumphantly dismantled a colossal robot. All Might's grin widened, his muscles swelling in his iconic heroic stance. The scene painted a triumphant tableau of victory, with Sato's delicate care symbolizing the camaraderie that blossomed among the heroes in the wake of Izuku's remarkable achievement. Young Mopft. All Might. Are you okay? Izuku panicked all over the place from the sight of All Might spitting. The casual young lad All Might beamed his trademark smile, emphasizing the moment with an exuberant thumbs up. SPI spitting out blood from the mouth isn't normal, or see. Casual Mikan nervously nibbles on her nails, her voice filled with a mix of concern and anxiety. Young man, what I saw back there. Izuku closed his eyes thinking he disappointed All Might. It was over for him. He knew he failed, but he didn't regret his choice. But you did splendidly, Skinny Might beamed, gently patting Izuku with a touch of heroic approval. In fact, your performance was nothing short of amazing. It brought back memories of my own youthful days. Congratulations, young one. You've truly surpassed all expectations. The Yandere girls fixated their gaze on Izuku, and Maki playfully nudged his side with her elbow, accompanied by a smirk that she seldom revealed. You owe me some gratitude, she teased with a tone that held a hint of mischief. Izuku, that's just fabulous. Yuno's voice chimed in a cute melody, her locks bouncing with enthusiasm. I trust those tedious robots didn't dare give you any hassle, did they? Yes. And Mikan timidly nods, her voice adopting a gentle, almost whisper-like quality. It was, kind of scary but, Izuku is really brave, like, super brave. I'm sorry if I'm a bit too nervous, and don't know exactly what I'm saying. Piece of cake, Maki quipped, a subtle smirk playing on her lips. Ugh, seriously? Do you honestly believe those tiny robots stand a chance against me? Newsflash, sweetie, Junko Inashima is not for the mundane streets. I'm on a whole different level. But hey, my dear sister, she's a different story. Total streets material, and she knows it. Streets, yeah. I strike fear into the streets, Makuro sighed, her arms crossed, her voice carrying a monotone sharpness. Makuro didn't quite grasp what her sister was conveying. Wait, All Might. Are you a teacher at UA? Sato's eyes widened subtly, a smirk playing on her lips. Indeed, I shall be gracing your presence soon, young ones, and you, my esteemed little ladies. Congratulations on a job well done. All Might boomed with a hearty chuckle, his iconic grin lighting up the moment. Thanks, Might. The laughter of the girls echoed. My love, my sugar cute boy. Sato cups Izuku with a soft cheek from his face. I am very proud of you, okay? What do I respond? Hey, I am happy. Izuku screams in the back of his mind. The sensation of her soft, warm hands on his face is an odd feeling. Do girls really have soft hands? And she's proud of me. I'm proud of you, Sato. Izuku stammered, placing his hands gently on hers. She withdrew, blushing intensely, her heart racing at the sight of his smile. Her cheeks flushed a deep shade of red. Maki's eyes shot a venomous glare, her teeth sinking into her lip with a sharpness that mirrored her biting words. A shadow draped across her face, and the glint in her eyes intensified in the obscurity of the night. Disgusting, she uttered, the disdain lacing her words like a venomous whisper. UGHHH, I hate this. I want to stab no slit her throat every time. She puts her lips where mine are supposed to be. Maki shows a fake smile as she attempts to understand her feelings. Young man, All Might called out, you're making progress. Keep trying to adjust and find control. Find control? Like a hand squeezes a stress ball. The amount of pressure is the amount of power I am outputting, but Izuku panicky scratches his hair, ruffling and thinking. Just how do I control something one for all? I can activate and use it, but just how do I gain control with the amount of power I want? Izuku sighs in a train of thought. Well, young man, try not to worry too much. Skinny might chocked as he puffed into his buff form. You're a smart man, you'll figure it out, haha. You make this sound like I am on my own. Izuku sighs with squiggly lines on his head, with a gloomy atmosphere that surrounds him. If your body, hand, finger, or legs happen to, break or get hurt, I'll make sure to patch you up, I'll always be right there. When you need it, Mikan reassured Izuku, her cheeks turning a bit red as she offered a cute and warm smile, radiating a gentle warmth. My, love, Mikan's eyes, skipped a beat when she turned away from his gaze. I protect you every way I can. If I could, I would kiss your wounds that I've healed. You're my only good thing in life, Izuku. My love will never die. I'd kill myself if you asked me to. I'd, consider myself gone if you asked me to. You're my god, Izuku. And I love you so, so much. Well, idiots? Junko shoots out, arm around Izuku's shoulder. She pulls him towards her. Massive jugs jiggle, wobble, and jump with Junko's movements, each animated movement putting on a show of their own. I want to sleep, so can we go? Say, Izuku, you want to have a sleepover? Just you and me, without my slot of a sister? Or your party pooper girlfriend? No, thank you. Izuku lets out a soft, nervous smile. Sato's fingers itch with the anticipation of wrapping around Junko's throat when the chance presents itself, her gaze fixated on her primeval objective. Ugh, seriously, you're the epitome of dullness. Whatever, bring along your little stink bomb of a girlfriend, I guess. No, I am go good. Izuku is nervously sweating as fast as rain. I'd rather go home and sleep. We got our first day ahead of us. Nonsense, while your call. Junko sighs. All right, All Might, peace. Come on, girls. I am tired and want my sleep before I have to wake up at the dawn just to fix my hair, shower, paint my nails, all that jazz. Izuku, honey, you seriously need an upgrade. Her face remains an inch. Her nose nearly touches his. With soft, sassy whisper, I can be your upgrade. Somebody help me. Junko is too assertive and unhinged at times. Izuku mentally cries to himself with a frown. Then he realized her big, developed melons is softly pressing against his face. Boo ra rabu bus. Hands off now. Sato pulls Izuku away from Junko's grasp. Oh, darling, feeling a little possessive, aren't we? Just bask in the glory of these fat melons yearning for an adoring owner. Junko playfully cups her big ones, letting them bounce with a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Izuku's got a sweet deal with these, Sato declares, confidently holding Izuku by the shoulders, keeping him close. She looks at him with a teasing grin. Isn't that right, dear? Mine are way better than hers. She pauses for effect, her eyes locking onto Izuku's, her face now flustered and completely red, her bottom lip slightly pressed upward, eagerly awaiting Izuku's embarrassed response. Excuse me, but why are they arguing over this? Mikan stammers, nervously fidgeting with her fingers. The chaotic exchange of words and the focus on certain body parts make her visibly uneasy. She glances around, unsure of how to process the unexpected scene, her cheeks slightly flushed with embarrassment. Maki lets out a scoff, her expression unamused. Seriously, what a bunch of idiots, she mutters under her breath, a sardonic smirk playing on her lips. Her eyes roll in response to the chaotic scene, revealing a mixture of annoyance and amusement. I heard that flat flop. Junko fires back with furious eyes, full of fiery frustration. Fuhhrgg. Maki bites her lips in a fit of jealousy rage, her flustered red cheek visible pink. My chest isn't flat. Junko, stop calling me that. Oh, wahaha, my look at you, stuttering like Mikan. Junko taunts, rolling her eyes dramatically. Big words for someone lacking in the jug department. Hey, I don't stutter like that, Mikan protested, her cheeks turning a shade of red, eyes tightly closed, and her fist gently clenched in a mix of embarrassment and nervousness. All Might sighed. I take the young man in good hands. With good friends as well. He watched Izuku and the rest of the girls walk away, with Izuku turning, his smile taking All Might back to his prime hero age. All Might watches the Izuku and the rest of the group leave his sight. That young lad's got a heap of practicing and training ahead of him. Sure, He might be the right fit for One for All, but is he truly strong enough to wield it to its full potential? Will it bring him the benefits he needs? All Might muttered to himself, shaking his head. A look of concern washed over his face as he thought about the teenager, Izuku. The inaugural day at UA High, the paramount institution for heroics, unfolds with an air of anticipation. Renowned as the foremost hero academy in Japan, UA High boasts a reputation that precedes itself. Within the school's expansive halls, students find themselves sorted into distinct departments and classes of through K, each catering to unique abilities and talents. As the day commences, our protagonist, Izuku, accompanied by his intriguing entourage of yanderes, takes their initial steps into this prestigious institution, marking the beginning of their UA High journey. Ugh, this school is, so much bigger than I thought. Junko sighed dramatically, stretching her arms as she strolled alongside Izuku and the rest of the Yandere gang. While Izuku's eyes wandered around the halls, the ceiling, the floor, everything felt amazing to him. His wide smile expressed the joys of his first day only to freeze up once he and his Yandere group reached the classroom door. The hall walls were large to fit all kinds of students. Classroom doors as large as 10, maybe 14 foot tall and wide is what Izuku assumed. Darling? Sato seemed slightly worried. We are here. While Izuku smiled nervously. His teeth cluttered and chatted nervously. That's so true. Izuki Yuno's bright and bubbly personality radiated as she expressed her agreement with a wide, beaming smile. Pathetic, Mukuro mutters with a monotone voice, her eyes scanning the mundane surroundings. Humph, Maki sighed softly, her expression overtly displeased. No point in dwelling on it. We're here now, might as well endure the inevitable socializing. I just hope I won't have to engage in unnecessary chatter, let alone talk with other students. Did anyone else happen to observe that Mikon wasn't accompanying us today? Mukuro remarks, her tone indifferent. Not that I mind. I'm rather pleased with fewer of us. Mikon. Yuno exclaimed, feigning the most exaggerated shock in history. I am also not sure. She usually meets us halfway near Izuki's apartment. Well, who cares about some mentally sick nurse? Hurry up, broccoli boy. I want to plant my butt down already. Junko seizes Izuku's shoulders and shakes him violently, her impatience clear in her every move. Okay, you've got my undivided attention, Izuku exclaims, shaking back and forth like a character pulled straight from a wild Tom and Jerry cartoon, eyes practically popping out of his head. The door creaks open, and Izuku steps into the classroom. A multitude of students catches his eye. A boy with red spiky hair, a pink girl exuding an alien-like confidence and extroversion. Amidst the lively scene, a purple grape-head boy is seen crying at his desk, accompanied by another guy whom Izuku can't help but associate with Pikachu. The bustling atmosphere is quite lively, a fact that Maki vehemently despises. Everyone needs to disappear. It's too irritating, Maki mutters with a heavy sigh, her expression twisted into a scowl of disdain. Suddenly, a girl with short brown hair and a bobbed hairstyle stood close in front of Izuku. Hey, you're the green-haired boy who saved me, she exclaimed, a happy and sweet smile lighting up her face as she looked at him. Izuku's social abilities shattered right in front of him. Why you are? I am glad you passed. He nods nervously. I can feel Sato staring into the back of my head. It isn't helping? Izuku nods nervously while his mentality screams. Ugh, in a way? Junko scoffed, rolling her eyes dramatically. It's you again, the teacher's pet. She sighed in disappointment. The visual representation of her discontent manifested as mushrooms growing from the top of her head. No way. I can't spend my school year with a teacher's pet. You're the guy. Ida suddenly shook Izuku's hand. What you did back there was amazing. Yes, amazing. Junko corrected. Don't mess around, bro, before I shove my heel up that nerdy monster. Izuku chuckled nervously, cutting Junko off. She gasps as she gives Izuku a cold, lifeless stare. Ida chuckled nervously at Junko and Izuku, seeming weirded out for a moment. You must have known about the secret points, which only makes sense. You waited for an opportunity, you knew about the secret points, and took it to your advantage. Of course, Izuku's head hangs low, feeling embarrassed. Izuku's head shot up to face a desk where a student's legs rested on the table with a growing cocky smirk. Izuku recognized that spiky blonde hair anywhere and anytime. This is U.S. property. You cannot have your legs just resting there. Ida shouts and demands, chopping the air with his arm. That is very rude to the school. Don't care, loser. Bakugo scoffed, his eyes locked onto Izuku. DKU, who the hell said you can come here? Bakugo? Izuku instantly flinches, his eyes widen as his hands cover and wrap around his face. Bakugo, the group of Yandere girls shouted at each other. Junko forward and back strangled Maki, neck shaking. The girl, kind, sweet, innocent demeanor wanted to break. The color of Sato iris sharply glowed with rage. She still hasn't forgotten what Bakugo did to Izuku back in middle school. Junko dramatically stuck her tongue out before catching Mikan. With a sly grin, she flashed the middle finger at Bakugo. Seriously, you're worse than most girls on their cycle. Trust me. You do not want to make Junko angry during that time of the month. As she noticed Mikan crying in the corner of the classroom, away from other students, she turned and locked eyes with Junko and Izuku. What's with all the sobbing, Mikan? Seriously, the waterworks are a bit much. Ugh, crying like a baby. Junko scoffed, raising an eyebrow. Oh, look who decided to join the party, the cry-baby nurse. Where the hell have you been? Mikan sniffs, and she smiles before she nervously rushes towards Izuku and the rest of the girls. Hi, Junko, Mikan stammers, nodding nervously. So sorry. I was supposed to get here earlier. Recovery girl assigned me to be the class healer. Mukuro raised her single eyebrow before looking away, uninterested in Mikan. She stood close to Junko. Hey you, don't ignore, loser. No, you don't make me shove my heel through that tight, but of yours. Mikan stood beside Izuku, a timid smile gracing her lips. I'm glad you're here, it's very scary without you. Izuku, she said, nodding her head with her lip pressed upward. Sorry, I am sorry, please don't abandon me, don't hate me, you can hit me if you need to. You can do whatever you want. What, wait, no, Izuku was sweating nervously, trying to calm her down. The other male students gave Izuku an odd look, including a few female classmates. That's okay, Mikan, I understand. I was worried, but I knew you'd do okay. I assumed recovery girl, right? Izuku softly smiled. Tears welled up in Mikan's eyes, transforming into a gentle smile. Yes, I should have arrived earlier. I'm sorry, Izuku. Izuku sighed before patting Mikan's head, which made Sato, in jealousy, bite her lip. Mikan's eyes widened, looking up at Izuku with a soft smile as he reassured her she was okay. This is no time for giggling. Late or early, it doesn't matter. Making friends is not the priority, spoke a weary, monotone voice. Huh. Izuku sweats nervously, looking around. Ghost is a haunted. Our teacher's a total worm, Sato remarked with a hint of disbelief, blinking twice as she looked down at the floor. Benny Worm, giggled in her cute, playful manner. That must be our teacher, right? He looks oddly familiar, Makuro observes, glancing at the man in the sleeping bag. She wrinkles her nose slightly. Why is our teacher chilling in a sleeping bag? Yellow is such an ugly color. Izuku looks to see the man in the sleeping bag. Shoto Aizawa. He lays sideways facing the students. This is a hero course, not a playground to make friends. And now, entering the scene is none other than Shoto Aizawa, the stern and enigmatic teacher. With a firm command, he instructs the class to prepare themselves, don their PE uniforms, and assemble at the PE grounds. It's time for the commencement of their very first day under his watchful eye. Bakugo's angry glare pierces through Izuku, causing a nervous ripple within him. He shifts his gaze around, observing the rest of Class 1A standing and awaiting Aizawa's next command. The chatter among the students about today's activities reaches Izuku's ears, emanating a palpable sense of excitement. A chuckle escapes the red-haired guy, hinting at his desire to employ his hard quirk. The choice of words, especially out of context, sends an uneasy, funny feeling through Izuku. Junko's attention was drawn to an unusually short guy with grapes for a head. As he leered at her in a perverted manner, her smile transformed into a sinister expression, radiating pure despair that could lead one into the depths of madness. The boy's jaw dropped with a mixture of shock and fear, eliciting a chilling chuckle from Junko. This is awkward. Really awkward. Izuku sighs as the rest of the Yandere group stood really close to him. 6 girls near a single boy, and one of those girls is his girlfriend. Could this be a test? Gazes at Izuku with a curious expression. It's painfully obvious, Maki remarks with her signature stern expression, her usual anger evident in her eyes. My apologies, I wasn't addressing you. Maki, smiled warmly at Izuku. Izuku, what are your thoughts? Before Izuku spoke a word, Aizawa sighs. Izuku knew that his first day had only just begun. Aizawa explains to the class about a test. The test of their quirks. Oh, Uraraka perks up happily. Testing out our quirks sounds fun. Junko couldn't help but hold in her laugh. Because she already knows that's how everything is going to play out. A wicked smile plays on her lips as she continues, her voice dripping with an unnerving satisfaction. Ever since I started tagging along with Izuku, everything feels different. A peculiar itch runs through my veins. I crave something, and he holds the key. Midoriya no Izuku, you're turning my dreams into a twisted reality. Keep playing the hero, darling. It's all part of the exquisite nightmare I've designed. Izuku noticed Junko hold in her laugh. Yuno's eyes seemed natural and calm as she remained next to Makuro and beside Izuku. Mikan was also near Izuku as she seemed worried at Junko suddenly holding in her laugh. Mikan looked around nervously as Class 1A witness Aizawa laughed before shifting entirely into a serious tone. Fun. Aizawa activates his quirk, his stern gaze sweeping across Class 1A. There's nothing entertaining about being a hero. This isn't some cartoon hero play. It's real life. Villains pose genuine threats, not only to innocent lives, but to heroes as well. With a deliberate motion, his quirk deactivates, and the descent of his scarf halts abruptly. Advancing with purpose, Aizawa holds a machine and a ball in his hands. Today marks the quirk apprehension test. We'll be assessing and evaluating your quirks. Most of you haven't put your quirks to the test since middle school. Bakugo, you're up first. Izuku, the group of yanderes and students watch Aizawa toss a baseball to Bakugo. Give it a shot. Try using your quirk to throw that ball, Aizawa instructs, his nod indicating a challenge. He takes a step back, maintaining a calculated distance, and holds a device in his hand. Haha, Bakugo smirks while he steps forth and throws the ball with all his might. He hasn't changed a bit. Izuku watches him blast the ball into the air. Die? Isn't that extreme? Is he trying to be a hero? Screamed Class 1A with shock. Ugh, what a total idiot head. Junko sneers, her voice dripping with disdain as she mutters the insult under her breath. The eye roll and a dismissive wave of her hand accentuate her trademark indifference, as if Bakugo in question is hardly worth her attention. Fun. Aizawa deadpans, recalling a comment from one of his female students. Bakugo getting a good score is crucial. It determines whether you're in or out of UA. What? Izuku coughed. All might watch from the corner of the building, fastly sweating like bullets. Oh and oh, here it comes. Good luck, young man, and your lady little friends. Anyone finishing last will face expulsion and be sent packing, Aizawa declares with his usual stern and matter-of-fact tone. Huh. The pink-haired girl shot up. Well, you can't expel us. This is my class, Aizawa declared with his usual stern demeanor, activating his quirk to emphasize his point. You might as well pack your things and head home now if you can't follow my class rules. Are we clear? His sharp gaze swept across the students. Then let's begin. Aizawa paused for a moment, retrieving a small bottle of eye drops from his pocket. Without missing a beat, he deftly administered a few drops into his tired eyes, a routine part of dealing with the constant strain of his quirk. The subtle gesture highlighted his no-nonsense approach and the practical measures he takes to maintain focus in his demanding role as a teacher. Izuku's eyes were in shock seeing Uraraka score infinity for throwing the ball, which never came back. Over time, Izuku managed to keep up reasonably well, but the challenge escalated when his classmates unleashed their quirks. The utilization of their unique abilities made it challenging for Izuku to match their scores, especially considering the exceptional performance of the rest of the Yandere group. Mikan's eyes widen with an unsettling intensity as she watches Izuku from a hidden corner, her voice quivering with an eerie enthusiasm. I am worried, Izuku, she murmurs in a tone that sends shivers down the spine. Her gaze, fixated on Aizawa, holds an unsettling fervor, as if she sees something beyond the surface. I know my prince can do it. You won't give up because my god never gives up. Mikan's words sound almost like a haunting chant, the nervousness in her expression taking on an unsettling quality. She speaks through her mind. There's an eerie obsession in her belief, as if she's tied her hopes to something far more ominous than just faith in Izuku. Aizawa couldn't help but notice Mikan's peculiar behavior, observing her from the shadows. She appeared to be in a perpetual state of jitteriness and nervousness, as if she were constantly on the edge of a breakdown. Aizawa discerns that Mikan, a troubled child lurking in the shadows, bears the scars of past bullying evident in her speech, actions, and the unevenness of her disheveled hair. As he observes her unsettling intensity directed towards Izuku, a sense of concern and understanding settles in Aizawa's gaze. Aizawa sighed, placing a hand on her shoulder. Mikan fearfully flinched, startled by his sudden touch. Standing at a considerable distance, he whispered reassuringly, "If this makes you feel better, none of the students are going to be expelled." His words were carefully delivered, intended only for her ears, away from the reach of curious students. "Oh, I am sorry." Mikan looks up at him, her eyes wide with a mixture of surprise and relief. "They aren't getting expelled?" Mikan whispers urgently, her voice carrying a blend of shock and concern, yet careful enough not to reach the ears of the other students. "No, but I do need these students to give their utmost effort. It's my duty as a teacher to push them beyond their limits. I want them to explore the full extent of their quirks. I'm sharing this with you because you seemed anxious. Is everything all right at home? Is that boy causing any trouble for you?" No. He's never hurt me. In fact, he's the opposite. He's my hero," Mikan utters with a gaze that speaks volumes, her expression turning crimson. She looks back at Izuku, her words laced with a mixture of vulnerability and admiration. "He always cares for me when I am at my lowest. Everybody treats me nicely when I am with Izuku." There's a softness to her tone, yet beneath it, there's a subtle undertone of dependence and a yearning for the safety she feels in Izuku's presence. Aizawa watches Mikan's soft and warm smile, a smile that secretly broke the man's heart. His gut tells him Mikan has gone through a lot of pain, but Mikan sounds like she's in great hands with Izuku. That Aizawa doesn't look further into it. Then it came, the test Izuku desperately wanted to avoid but knew he must face this now. The ball test. Aizawa handed the ball to Izuku and walked off. He watched him closely as he held the ball in his hand. Izuku's stomach twisted and turned, cold sweat dripping down his neck as his world began to shift. Holding onto the ball, the thought was to break it and move on, to use OFA. This is it, this is all I got. I can't just throw it normally. Not when everybody uses their quirks. Izuku closed his eyes momentarily. He manned up, clenched the ball, moves forward to toss the ball in perfect form. He felt OFA course through his before. What? Junko simply stood there, her eyes widening briefly before she erupted into fits of manic laughter. What the hell, amahaha, is that serious? Just a poof, that ball only moved 12 centimeters? You owe them centimeters, haha. Oh, I shouldn't be talking seriously. Junko let out an exaggerated sigh before her eyes suddenly leaning in close to Izuku's PP with an appealing and hot smirk. Please, come and shut me up with that. Her words trailed off, leaving an unsettling suggestion hanging in the air, a chilling mix of mockery and flirtation. Enough, Junko, Maki interrupts with a firm and unwavering tone, shutting down any further dialogue from her with a decisive finality. Junko chuckles with a sinister grin, her eyes glinting with mischief. Oh, sweetheart, your lackluster melons are, like, a real downer on my vibe. Flat as a pancake, huh? Her words drip with a mix of mockery and amusement, as if reveling in the act of destabilizing someone's confidence. Maki's eyes narrow, a cold and calculating intensity taking over her expression. Enough with your tasteless commentary, Junko, she retorts with a sharp edge to her voice. There's a flicker of annoyance beneath the surface of her usually composed demeanor. Izuku turns to find Aizawa advancing toward him. Suddenly, his scarf coils around his body, forcibly drawing him closer to the stern man who appeared irate in Junko's perspective. How those eyes, my quirk stopped working. He's the erasure hero. Eraserhead, the pro underground hero? Izuku's eyes widened with a mix of fear and shock. Maki exerted effort to restrain Yuno, Sato, and an infuriated Junko, beads of sweat forming on her forehead. In a hushed tone, she whispered to Yuno, Sato, Junko, and even Makuro, trying to avoid drawing attention. I understand the frustration, But if we messes up on our first day, it'll be worse for all of us. We can't just. Maki's voice carried a sense of urgency, attempting to keep the situation under control without causing a scene. That homeless hobo, I really don't appreciate how he intimates my Pookie, Junko blurts out in a hushed, low voice, her tone a sinister whisper. Izuku should be scared down at my feet, not his. I am going to tinker with that brain of his until it's nothing but despair. Yuno's lips move with a disturbing rhythm as she mutters in an eerily hushed tone, her eyes a twisted blend of sickening affection and boiling rage. The quiet mantra echoes with an unsettling intensity. I'll kill him. Her voice, barely audible, carries a chilling weight, exposing the seething hatred and intense desire to end Aizawa's existence. The sickly mixture of love for her best friend and the overwhelming rage hidden beneath the surface makes her intentions all the more menacing. If my sister desires the removal of that man, I would willingly oblige, Makuro declares with a chilling detachment, her voice echoing subservience as if she were nothing more than a loyal hound bound by Junko's command. Maki releases an exasperated sigh, the audible manifestation of her evident frustration. He owes me for this, she mutters and speaks, the weariness in her voice hinting at the heavy burden she carries in managing the chaos around her. The reluctant responsibility she has assumed becomes palpable in her tone, emphasizing the weight of the situation she grudgingly navigates. Aizawa gazes down at Izuku, his scarf wrapped tightly around his body, exerting a subtle pressure. Your quirk has a significant drawback, one that could leave you crippled. What will you do then? Nobody will be there to save you. Putting yourself at constant risk not only endangers you, but also hinders your potential rescuers. Harsh reality. A quirk like that won't pave the way for success and heroics if you can't stand on your own. Those who rely too much on others don't belong in my class. Maki whispers to herself, her voice barely audible. That piece of trash. What is he saying? Her internal struggle becomes evident as second thoughts about holding the girls back fill her mind. He's pushing it. He doesn't need to be that harsh. Izuku seizes the ball, Aizawa's words echoing in his mind. I'm holding others around me back. I've worked so hard, dreamed of this moment, I can't let it slip away. I want to come home to Inko, see my girlfriend, my friends. I won't let it all go to waste. Rising to his feet, Izuku gazes at Aizawa with a fiery determination, the seriousness in his eyes overshadowing the usual gentleness. He points the ball at Aizawa, his burning desire to prove him wrong evident. I won't allow that. I want others to rely on me. I've always aspired to be a hero. I'll say that 1,000 times, even if those are my final words. Izuku turns forward, pulling his arm back. My girlfriend Sato, Yuno, Mikan, Junko, Makuro, Maki, I won't hold anyone back. I'll show them a bright smile, just like All Might. I'll show everyone peace. I won't hold my friends back, or those around me. With a deep, determined motion, Izuku sets his arm. I'll lend those around me a helping hand when they see my smile. No. When they see me, I want them to say nothing. I don't want fame. I just want to save everybody. I want to help. I won't be a useless Deku. Izuku hurls the ball, a shockwave of wind accompanying its trajectory, surpassing even Bakugu's. He turns to Aizawa, clenching his wrist. See, Izuku asserts, his broken finger throbbing with pain. I told you I'll do it. I didn't break an arm. I didn't hold anyone back. Excitement courses through him, and despite the pain, his eyes sparkle with the thrill of adrenaline. Izuku Maki's eyes widened. What she saw was something different. It's like his entire demeanor changed, and something in Izuku, she could see it. It's so bright, I have chills. Maki rubs her shoulders, feeling a chill run over. Why? Why do I feel like this? So, this was the end of part 4 of this series. Stay tuned for next part of this series, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time.